It is now 10 days to the planned mega rally in Yenagoa, Bayelsa state capital, which organizers say will drum up support for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the Minister of the FCT, Nyesom Wike. The new associates, formed by Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, is mobilizing for a mega rally in Yenagoa, Bayelsa state capital, to drum up support for President Bola Tinubu. According to the new associates, the event would also be an opportunity to inaugurate the group in Bayelsa and unveil its officials. The acronym NEW is alleged by some Bayelsans to represent the first letters of the minister's name, N for Nyesom, E for Ezenwo, and W for Wike. Well, joining us now is Professor Benjamin Okaba, President Ijaw National Congress. Good morning, Professor. Welcome to the program.
Good morning, very well.
All right, let's get straight into it. We had quite a robust conversation yesterday around this proposed mega rally, and some of the latest developments are that some supporters of Governor Diri have now also booked the same venue for the same time to hold their own rally. So we now have two rallies booked by opposing groups for the same time in the same place on the 12th of April. What's your take on all of these developments?
Okay. First and foremost, let me also talk about the acronym of the new body. They call it N for Nyesom, E for N for Nyesom, W for Ezenwo, Wike. Going back to history, 2 years before the governorship elections in Rivers State, Nyesom Wike came up with this political brand, which he interchanged with the GDM, that is the Grassroot Democratic Movement. So it is very deceptive for anybody to take this as something that is outside the initiative of Wike. News is an agency that is sponsored and placed on a mission to capture power at all costs. That point has to be made. Then the governor of the state, after consultations with security agencies, declared that such an event was not proper at this particular time. Anybody has the right to convey a meeting. It's a constitutional right to gather people within, whether you are from the state or where not the state. But if there are security issues tied to it, I think we should prioritize, we should pay attention to those issues. So the best advice to give is that we shouldn't have a repeat of the Abalama situation. Wike has insulted the sensitivity of Ijaw people to the extent that we are even trying to examine the mental state and DNA of those Ijaw men and women that are in his support in the desecration of Ijaw land. He has done enough outside. Bayelsa is very special to Ijaw people. It's just like Ife to Yoruba people. You don't go and desecrate. This man said, he has made a statement earlier that he's going to bring fire into any state that challenges him in Rivers State. And will you allow a governor to sit by and allow this thing to come in? No. So the governor has responded very well. And I can assure you that what the governor did is in the best interest of this nation. Because I, as president of the Ijaw National Congress, cannot guarantee the safety of anybody that will turn up in that program. Because Wike's choice of words were very demeaning. In fact, Wike even referred to Park in a very dastardly way. Wike also said Asawana, what is Asawana? Asawana, let me tell you the truth. Asawana is not a love song. And for those of us who understand the implications, it's not something we say anywhere. We'll allow the gods to fight for themselves. But on the issue you've just raised, I think it's proper, under whatever guise. You know, first of all, it was to receive Wike. Now, they have changed their banner to receiving political appointees. It tells you the desperation. It tells you that these people don't mean anything good for Niger Deltas and Ijaw people. It's to tell you that they are trying to push through and force the people, and I don't know how imposition can work in a political circle like where we are today. Thank you.
Okay, Prof, we have it on good authority that the state government has said, look, the proposed rally or political campaign or reception for political appointees from Bayelsa State and the South who have benefited from Wike's generosity, would not be allowed because of the possible threat of violence. Now, you just said now that you cannot guarantee the safety of the people who will attend that event. Is that supposed to be a threat? Is that supposed to be an incitement? That's number one. Number two is to ask you, the Ijaw National Congress and the Ijaw Youth Congress had said if Fubara was removed, suspended, deposed, whatever, that peace could not be guaranteed in Rivers State. What's your assessment of the situation in Rivers since the emergence of AVM Ibokete Ibas as sole administrator and some of the steps that he has taken? Some people have been going to him to pay homage too.
Okay.
I don't know whether Ijaw National Congress too has gone to pay homage.
Okay, I think let me take the second question. When you talk about the statement we earlier made that peace will not be guaranteed in Rivers State and the Niger Delta should Fubara be removed. Those statements were made and from the point of view of providing what we call early warning signals. People will be angered. I, as president of Ijaw National Congress, don't run a terrorist organization. It is not myself or my people that will go and fight anybody. But again, there's people that will act beyond our control. And that is why we say we will not take responsibility. Now, I'm not just a president of Ijaw National Congress. I'm also a professor of sociology with conflict resolution and in the area of providing, assessing early warning signals. So I provided some kind of advice, and that is in that direction. So it is not a threat. It is an assessment of possibilities. And I should be able to provide that professionally, giving an evaluation of how the people feel, looking at the psychology of the people, looking at how insulted they are. I can assure you, or tell you for free, that over 95% of Ijaw people are aggrieved. In fact, they are on their own declared Nyesom Wike persona non grata because of insulting the soul of Ijaw people. And days after, particularly after the going to Abalama, when the traditional rulers of the place and other people say, please don't come at this time. It's not good enough. We tried so much. That's why that day you saw women. The women were brutalized and all that. And people just said, well, all are boo-boo traps put in place by Nyesom Wike so that you can see it as an alibi for the proclamation of state of emergency. And that did happen. So going back to when I said we cannot guarantee, of course I cannot guarantee. I'm not a security person. I'm only advising that don't allow this thing to happen so that people who are aggrieved and also will act beyond our control should not use an opportunity to do certain things. That is exactly, it's not a threat at all. It is just a statement of fact that should be taken seriously. Particularly when the governor of the state, who constitutionally is the chief security officer of the state, has consulted various service personnel, heads of various service personnel, and they all came up with the opinion that, look, let this gathering not hold. For God's sake, in 2020, when the PDP presidential campaign was to visit Port Harcourt, when Wike was governor, he made the same proclamation that, look, this place is not safe, and everyone did not fall. So why will Wike want to do to people what he does not want others to do to him? Why the desperation? Why if he wants to die, why not go look for somewhere else to go and die? So please, this is just advice. I'm just giving a piece of advice that, look, we are still battling with the rivers issue. And when you talk about the issue of what is on the river state and all that, I can assure you that we have told ourselves that Mr. President has made a pronouncement. He has ordered state of emergency. Yes, he is Mr. President. We are not happy with it, and we are taking appropriate steps to challenge that order. When I say appropriate steps, we are not going to battle, but we know legal steps to follow, and we are doing that, all of them. We are also going to consultations. We are also doing all of that with the possibility of reconciliation in mind. So we are telling our people to maintain peace. Let us not escalate issues there. And that is why even when they're saying that bumpings are here and there, those bumpings were not carried out by Ijaw people. Because if they were, Ijaw men will have taken ownership. Then secondly, if they were, what has happened now? The bumping should have continued. They have removed Fobrana. The bumping, where is the bumping? So those bumping issues were famed, right? Were famed by the same persons who desperately needed the state of emergency and all that. You talked about the sole administrator that people are visiting. The INC cannot visit the sole administrator because it's an illegal imposition. Okay, and we wish that he leaves that place as early as possible. Prof. We cannot visit him. Prof. We will not visit him. And we are not in sync with all the activities that are going on in Rivers State under the sole administrator. Thank you. Okay,
Prof. Just one small follow-up. Is it right for the governor of Bayelsa State to say that Minister Wike should not come to Bayelsa State, when the Constitution allows anybody in Nigeria to go anywhere? So why will he say, don't come to Bayelsa? The man has rights. You may disagree with his politics, but he has rights under the Constitution. If he likes, he can come and visit you too. If you open your doors to him, he will say, well, he's a free citizen. He can go and visit anybody.
Yeah, you see, like what I said earlier, when the PDP presidential rally had booked everywhere, paid so much money in Port Harcourt, under the same Wike, he said they should not come. And he gave his reasons. So the rally did not take place there. Are you saying that Atiku is not a member or is not a Nigerian who has the same right? Yes, we have rights to do certain things, but there are limits to our rights in the interest of others. So Governor Diri did not speak as a person. He spoke the collective mind of Bayelsas and Ijaw people all across. It's not about him. I'm sure Diri and Wike had relationship. It's possible they are still friends, but it's not according to personal persuasions, but according to the persuasion of the sensitivity of the people and the mood of the people at this point in time. So it's not personal. And I totally agree with him that this is not the right time for such a provocative visit by somebody who has insulted our Ijaw people.
Okay.
Like I said earlier again, it is not about him. 90%, over 95%, in fact, the remaining 5%, like I said earlier, are people we are even trying to test their mental state and their DNAs whether they are truly Ijaw people. Because nobody insults your father and your ancestors, and you are flocking around him because of material gains. It doesn't happen. A sane person will not do that.
All right, Professor.
I don't want to talk about the characters of the people involved and all that, but I tell you that no sane Ijaw man, no Ijaw man is in the right mental state will flock around somebody that insults your parents, your ancestors, and who you have unborn, your elders, your traditions, and everything. It doesn't happen anyway. Thank you.
Right. Professor Okaba, first of all, I'm curious as to how you came up with those statistics, but that's just a side note. Now, let's face the issue on hand. I'm very surprised that at your stature, with the level of influence you have, that you would come out in public on this platform and say that you can't guarantee what will happen if this gathering takes place, as opposed to appealing to your people to maintain a level of calm and peace. I say this because we've already seen how things have played out in Rivers State. River State is now being governed by a man from Cross River because the people of River State were unable to come together and work through their issues. Now, the manner which this issue in Bayelsa is being handled is raising concern because it seems as though the same mistakes are being repeated and ultimately will perpetuate a similar situation. Are we going to wait to cry foul until the state is being governed by a man from a different state as well? What is really the challenge with the various groups of elders in the Niger Delta with coming together and resolving all of these niggling issues? Why are the elders failing to get a breakthrough?
Okay, unity is very important. And while you are driving or striving for unity, you always have bad eggs. Even in the Bible, among the 12 apostles, it was a member of inner caucus that betrayed. So you can never have 100% unity across them. And what we are trying to prevent is that not to allow bad eggs to be used to destroy the fabrics of our society. You are very correct. It started in Rivers State. Most of the prominent persons behind Wike are Ijaw people. Who shows a grandmaster over their motherland. They instigated him, they propelled him, they gave him all the support. And today, look at what we have there. The Ijaws in Bayelsa, under Senator Diri as governor, have tried to forge serious unity across even political lines. In the current administration of Diri, we have APC members as commissioners. And Bayelsa has been very, very peaceful. Before now, the situation was different. And again, the governor is trying his best to advance development across the state, to very regions and all that. And they're even dealing with issues of poverty, which is the serious, which is the greatest problem of the people, in the midst of stupendous wealth that God has blessed us with. So we have to stop this. We have to stop this deceptive move in order to come together. Yes, at the end of the day, the man has even boasted. Somebody boasted to you, madam, please. Somebody boasted that if you don't support me, I'll come and put fire. Will you allow the person to come and put fire because you want peace? Is it when you are totally burnt off that you can think of peace? So I agree with you to a large extent that what we need is unity. And we are singling out these elements who are now have become conduit pipe for the advancement of the visions and mandates of persons who have declared our nation, Ijaw nation, enemy. Severally, not just yesterday, severally. So why not So we have been talking to ourselves. We are correct. We have been talking to ourselves, and that is why there is de-escalation of crisis all across. We have told our people under serious provocation that what we believe in now in this battle is constructive engagement, and that is what we are doing. That is exactly what we are doing. You remember Ijaw Nation some years ago, where we have militants from all several, and right now there's a paradigm shift under our leadership to ensure that we are strategic, and that is exactly what we are doing, right? Because we believe right now that the goal of self-determination can be actualized without spilling any blood. The pen is thicker. The pen is thicker than the sword. So we are encouraging ourselves, but in doing so, if there are certain things that are fishing that are not in line with that, we have to check them. The coming of whatever new is this, we say Wike under any guise is an abomination to us, and we cannot tolerate it. And that is why when I said we cannot guarantee, I cannot control the persons who will be so vexed by his presence.
Wow.
I'm not the first person that said it.
Wow.
They said when a man comes to your land and defecate on your floor, what do you do? So why must he insist that it should be Bayelsa? It should go elsewhere.
Okay, Prof.
In the interest of peace.
Prof, well, I just assume that the word abomination is a very strong word. But you are president of the Ijaw National Congress. I would like you to speak for the Ijaw Nation. Now, when Minister Wike made the point about Ijaws being minorities, and I just should know that they are minorities in this whole equation, my commentary on it, when we discussed it on this program, was to rely on Onigo Otite, Professor Onigo Otite, who wrote on ethnicity and ethnic pluralism. And he said, look, the Ijaws are the fourth largest ethnic group. So how possibly did Wike arrive at the statement that Ijaws are minorities, either in Rivers or Bayelsa or even in Nigeria? If you may just speak up for your people. I mean, you are in the same field as Professor Otite. Just tell us, since this
Professor Otite, Professor Otite happens to be my lecturer because I'm also a professor of sociology. So that is one text that we always see in our library. Okay, very quickly. The person you are talking about could say anything under the influence of other alcohol or any, and later debunk it. So he's a very careless speaker. These are basic demographics that we have across, are well known. Ijaws are not the fourth largest. Ijaws are one of the four largest. Because, again, most times we look at the land mass. The land mass, in terms of space, cannot exist outside the water space. So the boundaries of Ijaw land, or maybe Nigeria, beyond the land mass, goes into the river. So from wherever there is a boundary of Nigeria, any river spot, is part of Ijaw land. We are not minorities. In fact, we are the most populous and most indigenous ethnic nationality in the Niger Delta. That is a fact that is well known. Ijaws are in 6 states. Ijaws are in Abia. 26 communities in Abia State are Ijaw people, indigenous Ijaw people, indigenous settlers. So we felt that was a deliberate distortion. There's secondly to say Ijaws are minorities everywhere. In Delta State, we have more than 4 local government areas. Even in River State, we have 10.5 local government areas. Equatorial has 3. Forget about those that are distorted political census figures. When the time comes for recounting, we shall know them. We shall get there. Ijaws are in Ondo State, Ijaws are in Edo State, Ijaws are so. But again, it made a point. Even when your enemy insults you, you should take certain things very serious. Ijaws have been balkanized since the 1930s. I will be talking about it. And we know this deliberate balkanization of Ijaw people is to If you look at the Willis Commission report, it's clearly to dissipate our resources and energies. If you put all the Ijaws together, we shouldn't just have one state that is homogeneous to Ijaw people. And that is why the creation of more states, additional states for Ijaw people, is on the front burner of our agenda. And we have talked about this criminal injustice, talking about the balkanization all over, and we are going to pursue it. So these are the facts. We are not minorities anywhere. We have more than close to half of the population in Rivers State. We have entire Bayelsa State. In Delta, we have 4. In Ondo, we have 2 local government areas. In Akwa Ibom, we have 7 local government areas. So we cannot be said to be minorities anywhere at all. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. I want to revert back to my first question to you, because I'm not sure we quite got an answer, which is that the governors, some supporters of the governor in Bayelsa State have also scheduled their own, if I may call it, counter rally for the same venue at the same time on the same day that the new associates have planned their rally for. And I'd just love to know what your position is on this, because some are saying, well, yes, we can all support the people who we think are, are worthy of being celebrated. Can you hear me, Professor?
I'm hearing you very well. No, what I'm saying is that, okay, at least the organizers are saying that Bayelsans, they didn't say it was themselves. If it was their personal decision, maybe they have taken them to their parlor and others. It's a public field. So if people now say, okay, let us also come and join you, right? Let the entire state, in fact, people should mobilize from the entire Niger Delta, where you just are, and come and help them in celebrating that. So, are you going to receive them? We are talking about freedom of movement, freedom of attending parties. So if Judge Isizivu make it better for him, the entire Ijaw nation will come to that party. Because he too did not isolate some persons. It's not about who is supporting Diri or who is that. The entire Ijaw nation, in fact, from Arugbo, will come. We mobilize people to come and help after us. You said they are coming, it's not about Wike. You said they are coming to celebrate people who have been given federal appointment. We have congratulated them before. Since you want to bring them, we will come and join you. We'll come and join you to do the celebration. If you think that for security reasons you cannot put it off, then you should make provisions to accommodate everybody. Everybody, lovers of Ijaw nation all over, should come and join you, wherever you are going to have this thing. And let's see how it goes.
Well, Prof, as a teacher of social theory, what do you think will be the long-term effect of what we're seeing in Rivers State at the moment and in the Niger Delta, and what will be your advice to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
You know, sometimes when I reflect on this, I feel very sad. Because it's very obvious that we are not just doing the right thing. And for some persons, it's just about Rivers State. Justin, it's not that. It is purely a class struggle. You know, we talk about it politically, you know, and these are extreme, desperate moves to capture of the people, to capture the minds of people, instead of prioritizing development. If you ask me, gravitating towards a state in this country. You ask for my professional advice, that's what I'm giving. It was a one-state dictatorial situation in this country. When somebody in office can flagrantly disrespect the rule of law, where somebody can wake up because he has excessive power, will do all to demean the voices of the minority. Look at the judiciary. Take a look at the the National Assembly flagrantly putting aside procedures. Enamani, Ken Enamani are the same situation. And it was transparent. People voted and their votes took the decision. If we had somebody like the present National Assembly, then when we're talking about third term for Obasanjo, maybe they will have given you out a government for perpetuity. So these are very obvious facts that we are losing out from this grip. The voice of the people should be heard, and not just being heard, should mean something. And we are advising President Tinubu, you worked very hard for the country. Exile. They bid to protect democracy. Nigerians expect so much, and that is why they voted massively for you. Please, don't allow one individual. Because Wike is nothing outside presidential distance out of Wike is nothing. He might just continue to be drinking and all that. So let President take Mr. President take good counsel, wise counsel. We know it does not mean any evil for Nigeria. We also know his antecedents in Lagos State, who expected him to replicate all of this. He cannot intimidate people. The extent to which you can intimidate people, let his good works speak for him. If he in the second term, finish well now, the indices of our development as they are not very palatable. Let him address them, and let the issues be based on the extent to which he has addressed those things that are interest of Nigeria and not corrupt few. Let Tinubu serve Nigerian and not a cabal. He was elected to serve Nigeria, not a cabal, and that is the advice I want to give. It's a very simple thing. We have said, for instance, Ijaw nation appreciate the president. But again, when somebody has publicly insulted us and told the world that we are nothing, and we know that he's doing that on your platform, you gave him the leverage. If not, he wouldn't do that. A Wike who is not a minister cannot insult us. Of course he knows that. Then you are tacitly being unfair to us by encouraging him to do more and more and more and more and more and more. It's not fair now. So that is what I think we should have this time.
The next question. You are the one who said Wike will just be drinking and drinking. You all know, if Wike decides to sue you for defamation, we are not part of it here at Arise News. Because I don't know whether you have any evidence that he will just be drinking and drinking. No. I don't know about that.
No, but he said it all. He told the world now that he takes the highest, I don't know what the name, you should know the name of the drink he takes. He was boasting to the world that it's not an eating thing.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have that evidence, however. But
all right. Well, I believe our time is fast spent.
Allegedly drinking. I didn't say you were drinking. Let us put
very important. That allegedly is
drinking.
Very important. Thank you for your wisdom, Professor Okaba. What a pleasure it is to be in conversation with you.